A book written in 1991 cautions of a profound state plot to organize mass shootings in schools crosswise over America, keeping in mind the end goal to legitimize the forbidding of guns to the general population. As per William Cooper's book titled Observe a Pale Horse, the mystery government have since a long time ago intended to abrogate the Second Amendment by means of a progression of false banner occasions intended to find bolster for an aggregate weapon ban. On page 225 of his book, Cooper composes, "The legislature energized the make and importation of military guns for the hoodlums to utilize. This is planned to encourage a sentiment instability, which would lead the American individuals to intentionally incapacitate themselves by passing laws against guns, utilizing medications and trance on mental patients in a procedure called Orion. The CIA taught the longing in these individuals to start shooting at schoolyards and in this manner arouse the anti-gun campaign. This arrangement is well underway, thus far is working flawlessly. The white-collar class is asking the legislature to get rid of the Second Amendment." ANP reports, with the mystery government that Cooper cautioned of long back currently affirmed, it's a great opportunity to look again at that stunning section, especially in light of new disclosures turning out about the occasion in Florida, which ANP and other autonomous news sites have cautioned was likely coming as the globalists try to proceed with their bring down of America'. While a large portion of the prevailing press would joyfully call MKUltra a paranoid notion, in spite of the way that a United States Senate got notification from August 3 of 1977 archives Project MKUltra, the CIA's program of research in social adjustment, as should be obvious for yourself in the script record we've installed at the base of this story, it was immediately seen by a few ANP users that Florida shooter Nicholas Cruz was the conceivable impeccable MKUltra patsy, and has even admitted to supposedly hearing voices in his mind, asserting that evil spirit voices disclosed to him how to pull off the current school shooting in Florida. Was Cruz MKUltra-cated, formed into a professional killer modified to do the grimy work of globalists who are endeavoring to incapacitate the American individuals as well as divert the news cycle that had as of late been totally merciless to them? Before you go and mark down such an evil probability as school shooters being customized, we'd be insightful to investigate the psychological status of mass shooters all through history to the 1977 U.S. Senate hearing report, and particularly the lines on pages 167 and 168 in which we are recounted diverse strategies with which an individual can be controlled without their insight or resent by means of injury-based personality control methods, some notwithstanding including the utilization of various frequencies. Does the programming of a professional killer through mobile phone recurrence flag ring a bell? More on that underneath. As the NY Post announced back on July 23 of 2016, the Jason Bourne film arrangement tells the Hollywood story of one MKUltra-cated hero/awful person, prepared by the CIA to be a definitive professional killer. However, because of the amnesia he experiences all through the arrangement, he can't recall the majority of the appalling things that he had done. From the NY Post story, which references the 1977 Senate report, we've inserted at the base of this story. And keeping in mind that Jason Bourne incorporates a few tour from the feature's points of interest, somberness, descents in Greece, a fight over cyber privacy, Bourne's memory misfortune appears to be more similar to the stuff of fiction. Be that as it may, it's really in light of certainty. The CIA tested widely with indoctrinating amid the 1960s, sharpening methods that could constrain somebody to murder, at that point have no memory. A while later, code-named MKUltra, the program included about 149 separate investigations, numerous on accidental Americans, including a Kentucky mental patient who was dosed with LSD for 179 days in a row. MKUltra was authoritatively propelled in 1953 to grow better cross-examination procedures, and additionally to investigate the likelihood of making a programmable professional killer. The CIA additionally thought about whether it is conceivable to mind control threatening outside pioneers, for example, Fidel Castro. Approximately 44 colleges, 12 healing facilities and 3 detainment facilities assisted with the examinations. However, numerous were obviously not mindful they were working for the CIA. The government agent office now and again subsidized the work through mysterious stipends that the associations accepted were from private people. The foundations that knew acted in compliance with common decency and with the conviction they were helping their legislature, per a 1977 Senate report. While we realize that it's no fortuitous event, then liberals instantly bounced bolt venture upon the weapon control temporary fad before the smoke had even dispelled any confusion air in Florida. What's happening in America and the world that this school shooting has helpfully obscured from the quickly changing news cycles. Bringing up inside her story that Robert Mueller's Russian arrangement examination had discovered no plot with any American and Russian interfering didn't influence the result of the race. Will the focal point of Americans soon return to where it should be, upon the genuine agreement between Hillary Clinton, the DOJ and the FBI to settle the decision and get her into the White House? In the case of nothing else, this has all demonstrated Cooper appropriate on the Mistray government, so is there any good reason why he wouldn't be right on mind-controlled school shooters? With the Florida shooting likewise by starting up the civil argument about firearm-free zones with each such zone putting an objective upon the backs of the individuals who enter them, leaving the individuals who do awful things the free rule to complete their dread. We additionally discover it profoundly worried that far-left gatherings are currently calling upon Republicans to be killed as vindicate for the shootings, while Cruz's family gives us another sign that Cruz may have been the ideal focus for vile personality control, with their confirmation that he was mentally unbalanced and may have been on mental solutions. As we hear in the last video underneath highlighting investigative writer Jerome Corsi, Cruz may have been the ideal patsy. Somebody who could have been effortlessly programmable with injury-based personality control methods that are recorded to have gone the distance back to the 1950s, because of his fundamental mental issues. And keeping in mind that ANP has still not possessed the capacity to check the authenticity of Cannon as being somebody inside the organization of President Trump, we think that it's intriguing that not long after the shooting, Q referenced MKUltra a few times in his posts, asking that Americans plunge into the 1977 U.S. Senate record while letting us know this is greater than anybody can envision. What's more, regardless of whether you trust that Q is a genuine wellspring of data or a noteworthy troll, we think that it's intriguing that as per this February 1st story over at Globalist Guard Newsweek, the storm has so far been the greatest phony news story of 2018. Detailing in the main passage of their story that wild paranoid ideas have a method for saturating open talk nowadays and sites, for example, InfoWars effectively advance them with no reality checking or oversight. The Newsweek story's second section is just 2 words. Enter Q. Was Nicholas Cruz an unwilling casualty of CIA injury-based personality control? As was indicated by Q in the post-scene screen capture above, Huge Pharma is basic, to help program the patsy, and as we're encouraged to consider Google and Apple's new telephones, we need to ask, are CIA's modified professional killers being customized by means of the wireless? How about we investigate indeed at the 1977 U.S. Senate record, inside which, on page 168, were recounted a portion of the strategies used to deliver injury-based personality control, including the accompanying passages. 10.6 Let us currently consider the conceivable outcomes of energizing the reverberation cavitation specifically without effect. There is significant proof that reverberation cavitation can be instigated straightforwardly in the accompanying ways. A. Impact wave spread in air. Impact concussion. B. Physical excitation with a mechanical driver or horn, tuned to the thunderous recurrence of the head.